Continuing in our Kashrus discussion, we were talking about the Kashrus of medicines, or more specifically, if medicines have to be kosher. When you take a pill, does it have to have a hechsher on it to make sure that it's kosher? So just a brief recap, we learned that the only time something can be treif midoraisa is if it's edible. You eat a piece of nevela, a piece of treifa, you eat something that wasn't shechted, eat something treif, that's treif. Once, if it becomes inedible, the Gemara learns from Sukkim that there's no Isser Deraisa to eat it. Who would want to eat it? So it's a mystery who would want to eat it. If you do eat something which is not edible, is there an Isser Derabanan or not? So the Rambam says there's an Isser Derabanan. Again, we still have a mystery of who wants to eat something that's inedible, but according to the Rambam, which is the way the poskim bring the halacha, it's Asr B'Derabanan to eat something which is inedible. Fast forward to our times, very obvious that the inedible thing that you would want to eat is going to be medicine. We talked last week about maybe gelatin is inedible and then it comes back to life through chemical processes. There's a rennet they put in cheese. If you eat a teaspoon of that, I presume you would die on the spot, but they'll have with everybody's cheese. So there are different mamidim and things that are inedible, and they become edible. All of those things, the poskim say, early poskim for Sholem Meshiv, Noida Yehuda, right up to Rav Moshe Feinstein and the current poskim, all say that all of those things are Asr Midrabanan, meaning you can't eat, you're not allowed to eat gelatin. Kosher, it has to be kosher gelatin. There is such a thing, by the way, as kosher gelatin, but that gelatin comes, let's say, from the bones, around the bones of the animal. There is such a thing as actually shechting an animal and taking out the gelatin, but you would have to shecht so many animals to do that. There is a very limited amount of, somebody told me once, just a piece of trivia, that all the kosher gelatin in the world is a very valuable thing. You can't make marshmallows, kosher marshmallows without kosher gelatin, was bought by Barton Candy. Remember Barton chocolate candy? So they had, that was kosher, OU I think, and they had kosher gelatin. When they went out of business, all the barrels of kosher gelatin that were left in the world were bought by Frida Vitamins. And then Frida Vitamins, I believe, is out of business, I'm not sure. And there's a big, and they're not making any more kosher gelatin. So if you find some kosher gelatin, you are a millionaire. You've found the highest stock. In any case, that's all talking about food that became non-edible and then through a chemical process became edible again. The poskim say, oh, so you're not allowed to eat it. That's all. You're not allowed to eat it unless, and here's where we get to our point, a choleh. If one's a choleh, then you're allowed to eat something which was pasol la'achilas adam. A choleh, we're talking, what kind of a choleh we're talking about? If it's a choleh sheyesh sakana, you're going to die, you're allowed to eat a pig. You're allowed to eat whatever, anything except for avodah zarah, you're allowed to eat. Bakol misrapin chutz me'atzei asher. The Gemara says you're allowed to eat whatever you need to eat to get healthy. So what we're talking about with the poskim, Rishonim even, are talking about the where's this mutter for a choleh? Just not a choleh is going to die, but a choleh she'ein bo sakana. That's what it's called. Remember this: that in halacha there's a choleh sheyesh bo sakana, a choleh she'ein bo sakana, and a Meichush ba'alma. That's the third level. Meichush ba'alma means my hand hurts, my foot hurts, it's hard for me to walk, I have a headache even. Those are Meichush ba'alma. That's not called the Choleh she'ein bo sakana. What is a Choleh she'ein bo sakana? And once we figure out what a Choleh she'ein bo sakana is, a Choleh, but he doesn't not in sakana, so that person will be able to eat treif medicines, yeah? That's the way this works. So our hint to what a choleh she'ein bo sakana is comes from the Shulchan Aruch in Aruch Chaim, Shin Chav Ches, where there the Shulchan Aruch talks about Hilchos Choleh, and there the Shulchan Aruch defines what a choleh is very, very clearly. That's the makor for a choleh. And it says very clearly it has to have one of two symptoms to be called a choleh she'ein bo sakana. Remember, a choleh sheyesh bo sakana, finished. There shouldn't even be Pesach directories for the medicines for a choleh sheyesh bo sakana. You just take it. If you're bo sakana, you take the medicine, and period. If you're not a Choleh she'ein bo sakana, then you shouldn't eat it. But unless it's so, what is a Choleh she'ein bo sakana? So the Shulchan Aruch says two criteria. Number one is nafal lamishkav. I need to go to sleep. I need to go to bed. I can't stay up with what I have. So some kind of a flu, some kind of a virus. I just can't stay up. Nafal lamishkav. You're a Choleh she'ein bo sakana. All halachas apply. Then there's one of those halachas, by the way, is you're not allowed to take medicine on Shabbos. Choleh she'ein bo sakana is not allowed to take medicine on Shabbos. That's what makes it usher. Another criteria is choleh kol haguf, kohev kol haguf. Two different lashonis in the Rishonim that everything hurts. So unfortunately, we probably both all experienced these symptoms before. That's a Choleh she'ein bo sakana. Yesh bo sakana, chas v'shalom, you're going to die without tipul. Choleh she'ein bo sakana is I just need to go to bed. And in those cases, Choleh she'ein bo sakana, there's all kinds of halachas of taking medications on Shabbos or not. That's not our subject now. But what about, is that the type of Choleh? Do you have to be that type of a Choleh? Choleh kol haguf, kohev kol haguf, in order to take medicine which was made from a treif raw ingredient? Everyone understands the question? Answer. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, zecher tzadik levracha, said he doesn't think that it has anything to do with Hilchos Shabbos. He says in a Hilchos Shabbos, there's a special gzeira d'Rabbanan of shchikas samamonim, and you're going to come start grinding, and there's a little plug d'Rabbanan. So just because you have to be a Choleh she'ein bo sakana, you have to have those two criteria to be called a Choleh on Shabbos, it doesn't mean for achila, for instance, even if eating on a fast, or eating an non-kosher pill, all of those, which by the way everybody has. A gelcap is a non-kosher pill. That's a Tylenol gelcaps, Acamol gelcaps. Those are all non-kosher pills. Who says that it goes? Says Rav Shlomo Zalman. Who says that it goes with the gedarim of Hilchos Shabbos? Hilchos Shabbos, you have to be one of two things: nofel mishkav or b'star kol haguf. But who says that in order for the halachas of achila, wherever they may apply in our Shulchan Aruch, who says that that's a Choleh, and could be anybody's a Choleh. And you see, by the way, in the Rema, I'm adding that in Hilchos Tainus by the minor Tanesim, the Meichush ba'alma even sometimes is mutter to fast. So you see such a thing. So that's Rav Shlomo Zalman in his Sefer, which I can't find, I'm sorry. That's what he writes. He says, Tzarech iyun. He referred the Nishmas Avram, which is really an encyclopedia of Hilchos medicine and all the halachas of Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, the Nishmas Avram Rav Steinberg. So he writes that he discussed it with Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, and Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach says that when it comes to medications, any kind of Choleh, that's what he said, any kind of Choleh is allowed to eat something. Again, we're talking about without taste, and it was already destroyed for human consumption, but they brought it back, and now it participated in making the medication. If a person's a Choleh, you don't need Hilchos Shabbos Choleh. Any Choleh, says Rav Shlomo Zalman, according to the Nishmas Avram, is mutter to take that medication.